Hi, this is Gary Bowles, based in San Francisco. I'm really excited about bringing big ideas to people inside organizations, and I'm really honored to show you these videos by John Hagel and John Seely Brown. Enjoy.
There's a tremendous amount of interest in open innovation, but I think these ideas of creation spaces that follow from new ways to work on the edge are worth exploring, because I think that open innovation is an important first step, but just a step.
I think this notion of creation space is an important one, and it extends where we are in terms of open innovation. Understandably, again, there's a lot of enthusiasm and interest in open innovation because for the first time, many companies are finally going beyond the boundaries of the enterprise to seek out talent and get answers to problems they're trying to address.
And as a way to break the back of non-invented here syndrome.
Yes, so not to in any way diminish the value of the early open innovation initiatives. But at the end of the day, when you look at a lot of these open innovation platforms, they tend to be focused much more on transactional problem solving. So when you look at Innocentive as an example of open innovation, the early stage of Innocentive was about a researcher posing a problem, had to be very tightly and explicitly framed, and then a set of people competing to come up with a solution to that problem and then getting a reward based on that solution. But it was a transaction. Once the problem was solved, both parties moved on and likely never saw each other again or dealt with each other again.
And often, by the way, that transaction that turned out to be successful took a craft in some field that was a little bit astray from the center problem.
Yes.
And somebody recognized, by God, I could actually use this tool to solve that problem.
Right.
Yeah.
So that was part of the value of the platform, was going beyond, not just going beyond the enterprise, but going beyond traditional disciplinary or intellectual boundaries. So you reached out to people with unorthodox approaches and solutions.
Which was a form of serendipity.
Yes, no, exactly.
Shaping serendipity in a way.
Absolutely, no.
Yeah.
So I think that was hugely valuable, but our sense is that the real opportunity and need at this point is how do you create environments where people can form, not just interact in the form of transactions, but form deep trust-based relationships. Because ultimately that's the only way we're going to be able to access tacit knowledge. The problem with these early open innovation platforms works great for explicit knowledge. But when you get to what's deep in our heads and the practices we engage in on a daily basis, it's very hard for us to express those kinds of that kind of knowledge. And unless we have deep trust-based relationships, we're going to be very reluctant to even attempt such an exercise. So creating environments where people can form these deep trust-based relationships, and often they form in the context of a team or a work group that's engaged on an ongoing basis for a long period of time and form these relationships, but then scale, because we all know teams don't scale. Right. Once you get to a certain size, the team falls apart. So how do you create an environment where lots of teams can come together, engage deeply within their own team, but then reach out into a broader knowledge space or knowledge market to get problems framed and solved through connecting with others across teams? That's the real opportunity that we see, and we're starting to see it in all kinds of unexpected domains. Everything from online gaming like World of Warcraft to extreme sports like big wave surfing, digital music, and increasingly in the software arena with companies like SAP and their software developer network with over 1 million participants. They're creating an environment that again started with this transactional problem solving, but now has evolved into an environment where people are beginning to establish reputations and identity and connect with each other in teams to engage around more sustained kinds of activities that are a seedbed for these trust-based relationships.